Check the Steam page in the description for the game summary. Also check out the previous video for more information. Spooky jump scare in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm sorry, I lied. I couldn't think of a punchline for this. A while back, you may have remembered me covering Dead Estate, and while I consider the video outdated and a little bit short, I think everything I've said about it pretty much stands still to this day. We've recently gotten a small handful of updates, and Two Left Thumbs has been making a bunch of new games. And also they did that Amazing Madness Combat video. It's worth every single minute of it. I know it's like an hour, but it's amazing. Shameless plug aside, we've gotten 2 new cool characters, around 5 new floors, a boatload of enemies, items, and weapons, a couple new bosses, and more. We also did get some side things like the wonderfully charming intro sequences for every single character. All unique, hilarious, full of personality, just love them. Boss is a little bit confusing to me. I guess I don't really know what's up with these sticky bombs, but I think she's a welcome addition. Although I do like that she starts with an item. That's pretty cool. She might grow on me down the road. Axel is also pretty incredible. He's a really well-made glass cannon, and he's just so hilarious and charming. There are just so many great quirks about him. He just feels so Evil Dead. His weapon is so satisfying to use, and he even quips when killing enemies, and he flirts with the shopkeeper. Sorry, dude. I think it's time to move on. No, not like that. That's a married woman. Anyways, it's time to move on to the rest of the new things, and there's a lot to go through, but I'll only go on a few specifics, like the toilet. Well, I guess it's supposed to be a sewer, but, I mean, the whole main attraction is a toilet. This is your shopkeep for game breaks, but only if you have TP.
Where I come from, there is no TP.
Holding TP is a risk, but it's usually worth it for a game break like this. I mean, I got a pretty good TP run with Fuji. It looks a little bit like this. Now, granted, I did have wet wipes in that scenario. Could you imagine if, like, next update we get to see who's in the toilet, and it, like, peeks its little head out and it's like Jumbo Josh? I like the kitchen. It's a nice break from the madness, you get a couple items, and most importantly, you get to see more Rosalia. I think I clap and cheer whenever Rosalia is on screen and we get new art for her. I don't know why. The bank and basement are both really convenient, and I guess the gauntlet is actually a pretty good challenge. I don't usually visit it though. And I'll close this section off with my favorite new feature, the medallions. Kinda like lunar coins if they were awesome. With this, plus Chunks getting buffed, it feels worth it to actually fight him this time. For knocking out Chunks or completing a run, you get various coins, and they are cumulative, and, once you loop, you can trade them for curses. I love the way curses work. It can be anything as simple as a stat trade-off, or a brand new weapon, and it really spices up runs. You get to pick and choose how you want your curse loadout to be, and if you finish a run with all of them, you get a new costume. But I'm not going to show any of them because, I want you to work for them. They're pretty good though. That's all I can say about the new stuff in the game without spoiling too much. But what do I think of the game now, after 1 year? I really like what this update has to offer. It adds a lot of new stuff without sacrificing what made the game feel whole, and it's not overwhelming or diluting. They pretty much fixed the Chunks problem, and I guess some of the new stuff does help remedy the main 2 problems I also had. At the end of the day, it's a pretty charming game that just works. The gameplay loop is simplistic, it still makes great use of its small cramped rooms, and it's something you can really just get immersed in. I'm not really going to plug my first video on it, but I think most of my thoughts still stand, and now is more than the time than ever to try it out. And I'm really excited to see what Milkbar Lads and Two Left Thumbs will have in store for the future. Am I going to revisit it every year? No, I have different plans. But I really just wanted to bring attention to it in a bit of a more updated state. If you've gotten this far and still haven't checked the Steam page, check it out, see if it's for you. Anyways, not much else to say other than,
That's all, bitches.
My terrifying 2-sentence horror story. The poop lady kept throwing poop at me. I was not fast enough.